dignitaries, honored guests. Why is there water in my living room? It's also in my bedroom. I called my friends, my family. They had water there too. I knew this day would come, but I didn't believe it was going to happen so soon. What am I talking about? Global warming. There's a lot of theories behind global warming, what causes it. Some of the theories are the sun. The sun has seasons and solar flares and just a slight alteration in the sun and the heat it gives off could create a huge change in the earth. A lot of people don't realize we've had hundreds of ice ages that melt off, ice ages melt off, so we've had global warming, heating, cooling throughout time. Another theory is too many people in the room. If too many people in the room, it's too crowded, we get way too warm. Air conditioning can't do anything about it. Basically, if you order things on Amazon, how does it get to you? It takes energy. You buy an apple, it's from New Zealand, it gets shipped to you. Everyone has cars, more people have cars than ever before on the entire planet. If you use air conditioning and heaters, it takes energy. Even if you're cooling your house, it's heating out there, it's using energy. A lot of people believe the status quo, the Al Gore, it's carbon and methane. And I'm going to talk mainly about that and how that affects and impacts the world. You see, a lot of people believe cars and transportation is the main cause of CO2 and heating and electricity, like coal plants. A lot of places it's so much coal you can't even breathe. Now, the cars are only responsible for 13% of all the CO2 in the entire planet. So if you were to take all the cars, have no carbon footprint, no CO2, all the electricity, have no CO2, and just stop today, we would still surpass the point of no return where our global warming would create, supposedly end the world. I don't know if that's true, but there must be a bigger source. There must be a much bigger source that's causing global warming, rainforest destruction, and ruining the planet. Factory farming. Industrial factory farming is actually responsible for 51% of the entire CO2 and carbon and destruction of the planet. You see, cows release methane. Cow flatulence is how the cows release methane. I know you're going to sit here and say, this is silly. Here's a guy telling me the world's going to end by cow farts. But cows release 150 billion tons of methane per day. There are 1.5 billion cows on the planet right now. Let's dig into this a little bit deeper. Not in that way. 10,000 years ago, 99% of the biomass on the earth was wild animals, 1% was humans. Fast forward to today, 2% is wild animals, and 99% or 98% is human beings. So there's been some changes, and we're affecting, and we can see what's going on. You see, factory farming uses 50% of all the available land on the planet. That's a lot of land just for factory farming. It's also the #1 cause of deforestation, water usage, and people not having food to eat. You see, every single second, 1 acre is chopped down. So by the time this speech is over, 300 to 400 acres will be wiped out so cows can graze, and they can grow genetically modified soybeans to feed these cows. Water usage. 1/3 of all the world's clean water is used to feed factory farm animals. In the United States, 55% is used for factory farms. I know you hear the word drought. Drought a lot, drought here, drought in California. It's a major problem. And a lot of people don't realize what you eat actually impacts the droughts all over the world compared to what you don't eat. You can make the choice. Starvation. It takes 25 to 50 pounds of farm feed, oats, corn, wheat, to feed animals to, in return, only create 1 pound of meat for people. So you're spending using 25 pounds of food that could be fed to people that can't afford to eat to create 1 pound of meat. If you go online and you type in massive animal kill-offs, it'll be crazy what you find. I encourage everyone to do that when you go home and see massive animal kill-offs. Not too long ago, 150 dolphins washed up shore on Florida's coast. That was 2 weeks ago, and since then there's been a lot of other massive animal kill-offs, and there's been, even every single day, there's something going on in the world. Now you see, there's a lot of pollution. Every single minute, 7 million pounds of waste is excreted from these animals. Human waste is treated. Their waste just goes wherever it wants to go. It just goes in rivers, they dispose of it. They don't really care. They just dispose of it any way they can. 2,500 cows actually is the equivalent of a city of 411,000 people, the amount of waste. Now, you know, every single time you make a purchase, it's basically you're making a vote on what the supermarket should have, what food should be where. So you have a choice to change the environment, change the water supply, what it's used for, and change if other resources could be used towards hungry people. And just remember, every single time you pick up a hamburger, you're not thinking of water shortage, you're not thinking of this could feed other people, allocate another way. So remember, the resources for one hamburger is the equivalent of taking a shower every single day for 2 months, so you can make a difference. Fellow Toastmasters.